This winter storm is about to slam into 38 states in the next 72 hours. And if you live anywhere east of the Rockies, you need to hear this right now. Here is what just changed. The models shifted overnight. What we were tracking yesterday as a moderate snow event just got upgraded. We are now looking at a potential 6 to 10-inch snowfall corridor stretching from Kansas City all the way through the mid-Atlantic. And that is not even the worst part. South of that snow line, a dangerous ice storm is setting up. Freezing rain, the kind that takes down power lines, coats roads in a sheet of glass, and makes driving nearly impossible. But wait, that is just the opening act. Because after this storm clears out, the pattern flips completely. And what is coming after that could be even more significant. We are talking about one of the most active stretches of March weather that we have seen in over a decade. Now, here is exactly what I need you to do. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I am going to break down this storm hour by hour, city by city, for more than 70 locations across the United States. I am going to tell you exactly when this hits your area, when it peaks, and when it finally moves out. And at the 5-minute mark, I am going to reveal something about the second week of March that the models are showing right now that could affect tens of millions of people. You do not want to miss that. So let us get right into it. Right now, as you are hearing this, a massive Arctic high-pressure system is building over the northern plains. This thing is a monster. We are talking about a 1040 millibar high-pressure center parked just north of North Dakota. That is significant. That is the kind of high pressure that acts like a wall of cold air. And here is what it is doing. It is pushing frigid Arctic air straight down into the central United States. At the same time, moisture from the Pacific is streaming in over the Rockies. And when that cold air from the north collides with that warm, moist air from the south, you get a recipe for a major winter storm. And that collision is happening this weekend. Let me walk you through the timeline, and I mean the exact timeline, because timing matters. If you know when the storm hits your city, you can prepare. You can get your groceries, you can charge your devices. You can make sure you have what you need. Let us start with Friday. Friday is actually going to be relatively quiet for most of the country. We do have an Alberta Clipper. That is a fast-moving storm system dropping down from Canada that is going to bring some light snow to parts of the upper Midwest. If you are in Minneapolis, you might see a dusting to an inch. Green Bay, same thing. Maybe an inch. Nothing major. This clipper is going to scoot across the Great Lakes and bring some flurries to northern New England by Friday evening. Burlington, Vermont, maybe an inch. Portland, Maine, a coating to an inch. Boston, you might see a few snowflakes, but honestly, this is a non-event for you on Friday. Now let us talk about what happens Saturday, because Saturday is when this storm starts to come to life. Saturday morning, the first signs of moisture are going to start appearing over the Rockies. If you are in Billings, Montana, you could see some light snow by mid-morning. Denver, you are going to stay mostly dry on Saturday, but watch those mountains. The high country west of Denver could pick up 2 to 4 inches through the day. By Saturday afternoon, that moisture starts to stream eastward. And this is where it gets interesting. A narrow band of snow is going to develop stretching from roughly Chicago all the way back to Great Falls, Montana. Now, here is the thing. This first round of snow on Saturday is not going to be the heavy stuff. This is the appetizer. Most areas in this corridor are looking at maybe 1 to 3 inches through Saturday evening. Let me give you the Saturday breakdown city by city. Billings, Montana. Snow starts around 10 in the morning Saturday, light to moderate through the afternoon, expecting 2 to 3 inches by Saturday night. Bismarck, North Dakota. You are on the northern edge of this. Light snow starts around noon Saturday, maybe an inch or two. But the real cold is what you need to worry about. Wind chills are going to drop to 20 below zero Saturday night. Rapid City, South Dakota. Light snow develops Saturday afternoon, 1 to 2 inches expected. Temperatures in the single digits by evening. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Snow starts around 3 in the afternoon Saturday, 1 to 2 inches by midnight. Omaha, Nebraska. You are going to start seeing flurries by late Saturday afternoon, around 4 or 5. Accumulation stays light through Saturday night, maybe an inch. Lincoln, Nebraska. Similar to Omaha, late afternoon flurries Saturday. Not heavy yet. The heavy stuff comes Sunday, Des Moines, Iowa. And this is important because Des Moines is right in the transition zone. You might see some light snow starting Saturday evening around 7 or 8, maybe an inch by midnight, but Sunday is your big day. Do not let Saturday fool you. Minneapolis and St. Paul. That clipper brings light snow Friday night. Then you get a break Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, clouds build back in. You might get some additional light snow Saturday evening, 1 to 2 inches total through Saturday. Chicago. Here is where I need your attention. Saturday evening, probably around 8 or 9 at night, light snow starts moving in. This first round is going to drop maybe an inch, possibly 2 by midnight. But here is the twist. The models have been shifting south over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, Chicago was looking at potentially heavy snow. Today, it is looking more moderate for Chicago specifically. The heaviest snow has shifted further south. I will explain why in a moment. Milwaukee. Light snow Saturday evening, similar to Chicago. An inch or 2 by midnight. You are on the northern edge of the heavier band. Now, here is where everything changes. Sunday is the main event, and I need everyone from Kansas to the Mid-Atlantic to really pay attention here. Sunday morning around 9 or 10, the moisture from the Pacific really kicks into high gear. And at the same time, that Arctic high pressure pushes even further south. What this does is create an incredibly sharp boundary. On one side, you have heavy snow. On the other side, freezing rain. And in between, sleet. This boundary is going to set up somewhere across Kansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. And the exact placement of this line is going to determine whether you get buried in snow or coated in ice. Let me break down Sunday hour by hour for the cities that are going to be hardest hit. Kansas City, Missouri. This is ground zero for the winter storm on Sunday. Snow and a wintry mix start around 9 in the morning. By noon, you are looking at moderate to heavy snowfall. Here is the thing though. Kansas City is right on that rain-snow line. The northern suburbs could see all snow. The southern suburbs could see a mix of sleet and freezing rain. By Sunday evening around 6, you could have 4 to 6 inches in the northern half of the metro, but ice accumulation in the southern half, this is going to be a messy situation. Peak snowfall rates hit between noon and 6 in the evening Sunday. Topeka, Kansas. Snow starts a little earlier for you, around 8 in the morning Sunday. Moderate to heavy snow through the day, 3 to 5 inches by Sunday evening. You are far enough north of the freezing rain line that you should see mostly snow. Wichita, Kansas. And here is where it gets dangerous. Wichita, you are south of the heavy snow line. You are looking at a mix of sleet and freezing rain starting around 10 in the morning Sunday. Ice accumulation of a quarter inch is possible by Sunday evening. That is enough to cause serious problems on roads and could lead to power outages. Wichita, this is your storm to watch very carefully. Oklahoma City, you are on the southern edge of the wintry precipitation. You might see some light freezing rain or sleet Sunday afternoon. But for most of you, this is going to be a cold rain. Temperatures right around that 32-degree mark. It is going to be a close call. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Similar to Oklahoma City. Cold rain, maybe some sleet mixing in Sunday afternoon. Not expecting significant ice accumulation, but it is going to be cold and miserable. Springfield, Missouri. Heavy snow is in the forecast for you Sunday. This could be one of the bigger snow totals from this storm. 4 to 7 inches starting around 10 in the morning and continuing through the overnight hours. The GFS model actually shows a pocket of enhanced snowfall right over Springfield. Peak intensity between 2 in the afternoon and midnight. Joplin, Missouri. You are right on that freezing rain line. Joplin could see a mix of snow and freezing rain Sunday afternoon and evening. Be extremely cautious. Even a thin glaze of ice on roads makes driving treacherous. St. Louis, Missouri. Snow starts around noon Sunday. Moderate snowfall through the afternoon and evening. 3 to 5 inches expected. You are north enough of the freezing line that most of this should be snow, but the southern suburbs near the Missouri-Arkansas border could see some sleet mixing in. Peak snowfall between 2 in the afternoon and 10 in the evening Sunday. Columbia, Missouri. Right in the heavy snow band. 4 to 6 inches expected, starting around 11 in the morning Sunday and continuing through Sunday night. Now let us move east, because this storm is on the move. Indianapolis, Indiana. This is a city that has been bouncing around in the models. Yesterday, Indianapolis was in the heavy snow zone. The models shifted south overnight, which takes some of the heaviest snow away from Indy. But you are still looking at 2 to 4 inches starting Sunday evening around 7 or 8. Some of this could mix with sleet, especially on the south side. The storm peaks in Indianapolis between 9 in the evening Sunday and 3 in the morning Monday. Fort Wayne, Indiana. 2 to 3 inches of snow Sunday night into Monday morning. This is on the lighter side of the storm for Indiana. Evansville, Indiana. You are further south, so you are in that mixed bag zone. Sleet and freezing rain possible Sunday evening. Maybe an inch of snow with some ice glaze. Louisville, Kentucky. Here is a city right in the danger zone. Louisville is going to be right along that freezing rain line. And here is what nobody tells you about these setups. When you are on that line, a shift of just 50 miles north or south completely changes your forecast. As of right now, Louisville is looking at a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain starting Sunday evening. Total snow accumulation maybe 2 to 3 inches, but with a glaze of ice on top. That ice is the real concern. We are not expecting a repeat of the major ice storm from about a month ago, but you need to be ready. Peak precipitation between 8 in the evening Sunday and 4 in the morning Monday. Lexington, Kentucky. Very similar to Louisville. Mix of snow and freezing rain. 2 to 3 inches of snow with some ice. Sunday night through early Monday morning. Cincinnati, Ohio. You are on the northern edge of the freezing line. Cincinnati is likely to see mostly snow with this event. 3 to 5 inches starting Sunday night around 9 or 10 and continuing into Monday morning. Some sleet could mix in, especially for the Kentucky suburbs south of the river. Peak intensity between midnight and 6 in the morning Monday. Columbus, Ohio. Snow starts late Sunday night, around 11 or midnight. This is going to be more of a Monday morning event for Columbus. 3 to 4 inches expected by Monday afternoon. Your Monday morning commute is going to be rough. Peak snowfall between 2 in the morning and 10 in the morning Monday. Dayton, Ohio. 3 to 5 inches starting around 10 Sunday night. Similar timeline to Columbus. Monday morning is your biggest impact time. Cleveland, Ohio. You are on the northern fringe. 1 to 3 inches of snow late Sunday night into Monday. This is not going to be a blockbuster for Cleveland, but it is enough to impact travel. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And here is where the storm starts to move into the eastern portion of the country. Pittsburgh. You are looking at snow starting very early Monday morning, around 2 or 3. 3 to 5 inches by Monday evening. The Euro model has been consistently showing Pittsburgh in the moderate to heavy snow zone. Your Monday commute is going to be a mess. Peak snowfall between 4 in the morning and noon Monday. Now let me hit the Mid-Atlantic, because the models are actually showing this region could get some of the heaviest snow totals. And actually, before I do that, let me stop right here, because I promised you something at the 5-minute mark. And here it is. The models are showing something happening in the second week of March that could be extraordinary. After this winter storm clears out by Tuesday or Wednesday, a massive ridge of high pressure is going to build over the eastern United States. And I mean massive. We are talking about temperatures running 15 to 25 degrees above average. In early March, that means highs in the 70s could push as far north as Minnesota and Wisconsin. Dallas and Houston could hit the 80s. Atlanta could flirt with 80 degrees. And here is why this matters beyond just warm weather. When you have that kind of heat surging north and you have cold air still available over Canada, the atmosphere becomes incredibly unstable. The Storm Prediction Center is already watching this period. We could see some of the first major severe weather outbreaks of 2026 during the second week of March. Tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. The whole severe weather season could kick off in a big way. I am going to cover that in detail in our next video. So make sure you are following this channel, because the second half of March could be one for the record books. Now, back to this weekend storm. Let us pick up with the Mid-Atlantic. Washington, District of Columbia. The snow arrives Monday morning, probably around 6 or 7. This is going to be a Monday event for the nation's capital. The GFS model has actually been trending heavier for the Mid-Atlantic. 2 to 4 inches for DC proper, possibly more in the northern and western suburbs. Temperatures will be right at that freezing mark, so some of this could mix with sleet downtown. But if the cold air holds, this could be a solid moderate snowfall for DC. Peak snowfall between 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon Monday. Baltimore, Maryland. Very similar to DC. Snow starts early Monday morning. 3 to 5 inches expected. The further north you are in the Baltimore metro, the more snow you are likely to see. Peak snowfall Monday morning through early afternoon. And here is a spot that keeps showing up in the models as a potential bullseye. The Delmarva Peninsula and southern Maryland. The GFS and the Euro AI are both showing this area could get hit harder than the major metro areas. We are talking potentially 5 to 7 inches for areas like Salisbury, Maryland, Cambridge, Easton. The cold air gets trapped in this region as the moisture wraps around the low-pressure system and it creates enhanced snowfall. If you are on the Delmarva, you need to take this seriously. Richmond, Virginia. Snow starts Monday morning. 2 to 4 inches expected. The southern side of Richmond could see some mixing with sleet, but the northern suburbs should see mostly snow. Peak snowfall between 8 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon Monday. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, Virginia. You are on the warm side of this system. Mostly rain for you, but there could be a brief changeover to snow or a mix Monday morning. Maybe a coating to an inch before it changes to rain. Not a major snow event for Hampton Roads. Roanoke, Virginia. 3 to 4 inches. The mountains west of Roanoke could see even more. Snow starts early Monday morning and continues through the afternoon. Charleston, West Virginia. This is another area that could see significant snow, 4 to 6 inches starting early Monday morning. The Appalachian terrain is going to enhance snowfall here. Peak snowfall Monday morning through early afternoon. Now moving north. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Snow starts Monday morning, probably around 7 or 8. 2 to 4 inches expected through the day. Your Monday commute is going to be impacted. The snow should taper off by Monday evening. Peak snowfall between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. Wilmington, Delaware. 3 to 5 inches. Snow starts around 6 or 7 Monday morning. This is going to be a full-day snow event. Peak intensity Monday late morning through afternoon. Trenton, New Jersey. 2 to 4 inches Monday. Similar timeline to Philadelphia. Newark, New Jersey. 1 to 3 inches. You are on the northern edge of the heaviest band. Monday morning through afternoon. New York City. And I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. Here is the deal with New York City. You are on the very northern fringe of the main snowfall band. The current track puts the heaviest snow just to your south. Manhattan is looking at 1 to 3 inches. Brooklyn and Queens similar. But the outer boroughs, and especially Long Island, could do a little better, maybe 2 to 4 inches. Snow starts Monday mid-morning and continues into the evening. But here is the thing. There is another system behind this one that the GFS has been showing for Tuesday into Wednesday. If that verifies, New York City could get another round of snow. We are watching that very closely. Hartford, Connecticut. 1 to 2 inches from this first system Monday into Monday night. The second system later in the week could bring more. Providence, Rhode Island. Similar to Hartford. 1 to 2 inches Monday into Monday night. Boston, Massachusetts. Light snow possible Monday evening. Honestly, this first storm is not a big deal for Boston. Maybe an inch. But again, that second system Tuesday and Wednesday could be more significant for New England. Boston, do not let your guard down later in the week. Albany, New York. 1 to 2 inches, Monday into Monday night. The cold air is there, you just might not get as much moisture. Syracuse, New York, an inch or 2. Light snow Monday evening into Tuesday morning. Buffalo, New York, 1 to 2 inches. Lake effect snow could add a little more on the backside of this system Tuesday. Portland, Maine. Very light from this first system. Maybe a coating. The second system later in the week is the one to watch for New England. Now let me circle back to some cities in the central United States that I have not covered yet, because this storm hits you first, and you need to be ready. Little Rock, Arkansas. Cold rain Sunday and Monday. Temperatures stay just above freezing for downtown Little Rock, but the northern suburbs and areas up toward Jonesboro could see some freezing rain. Pay attention to your local forecast. Memphis, Tennessee. Mostly cold rain. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Not expecting frozen precipitation for Memphis proper, but it is going to be a cold, raw, miserable day Sunday and Monday. Nashville, Tennessee. Here is good news for Nashville. After that brutal ice storm about a month ago, you are catching a break this time. Rain and possibly some sleet mixing in, but the freezing line is setting up to your north across Kentucky. Nashville. You should avoid significant ice accumulation this time. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Knoxville, Tennessee. Cold rain, maybe a little sleet mixing in. No significant ice expected. Charlotte, North Carolina. Mostly rain. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Not a winter weather event for Charlotte this time. The cold air does not make it far enough south. Raleigh, North Carolina. Similar to Charlotte. Rain. Maybe some cold rain. But no frozen precipitation expected. Atlanta, Georgia. Rain Sunday through Monday. No winter weather concerns. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Birmingham, Alabama. Rain and some thunderstorms are actually possible today. But for this weekend storm, it is all rain for Birmingham. No winter weather. Now let me talk about something that does not get enough attention with these storms. The ice. Between the heavy snow zone to the north and the rain to the south, there is going to be a band of freezing rain. And let that sink in for a second. Freezing rain is arguably the most dangerous form of winter precipitation. Snow you can drive in slowly. Ice. You cannot drive in at all. And this freezing rain band is going to set up somewhere across southern Kansas, southern Missouri, Kentucky, and possibly parts of southern Illinois and southern Indiana. The exact placement is still being fine-tuned. The models have been shifting back and forth. But here are the cities that need to be on high alert for ice accumulation. Wichita, Kansas. Quarter-inch of ice possible. Joplin, Missouri. Ice glaze likely. Springfield, Missouri. Southern parts could see some ice mixed with snow. Paducah, Kentucky. This city is right in the potential ice zone. A quarter-inch of ice accumulation is possible Monday. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mixed precipitation including freezing rain Monday morning. Owensboro, Kentucky. Freezing rain possible late Sunday into Monday. Evansville, Indiana. Ice glaze possible. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Right in the danger zone for freezing rain. Now, I want to be clear about something. We are not expecting a catastrophic ice storm from this event. We are not talking about inch-thick ice on power lines. But even a quarter-inch of ice accumulation on roads creates extremely hazardous driving conditions. And if you are in any of these cities, you should plan to stay off the roads during the peak of this event Sunday night through Monday morning. All right, let me give you the full timeline summary, because I know that was a lot of information. Here is the storm broken down into phases. Phase 1, Friday into Saturday. The appetizer? Light snow spreads across the upper Midwest and northern plains. Most areas see 1 to 3 inches. This is not the main event. Alberta Clipper brings flurries to New England. Phase 2. Saturday evening into Sunday morning. The buildup. Snow begins developing across a narrow corridor from Montana through Chicago. Accumulations remain light, generally 1 to 3 inches. Cold air begins surging south. Phase 3. Sunday morning through Sunday night. The main event for the central United States. Heavy snow develops across Kansas, Missouri, Illinois. Freezing rain sets up south of the snow line. This is when impacts become significant. Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Springfield, all getting hit during this phase. Phase 4. Monday morning through Monday evening. The main event shifts east. Heavy snow moves into the Ohio Valley, West Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Delmarva, all getting their heaviest snow. Freezing rain continues across Kentucky and southern portions of the Ohio Valley. Phase 5. Monday night into Tuesday. The storm exits. Snow tapers off across the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Lingering flurries possible in New England. The worst is over for most areas by Tuesday morning. But here is where I need to hit the brakes and tell you something. We are not done. The GFS model has been showing a secondary storm system developing Tuesday into Wednesday. This one is separate from the first storm, and it could bring another round of snow to the northeast. We are talking about New York City, Boston, Hartford, Providence, Albany. All of these cities could see additional snowfall from this second system. The details are still coming into focus because it is still about 6 to 7 days out, but the signal has been showing up consistently on the models for the past several days. So if you are in the Northeast and you are thinking you dodged the bullet with this first storm, do not get comfortable. There could be more coming. Now let me pull back and look at the bigger picture, because what is happening with the weather pattern right now is genuinely remarkable. The jet stream is setting up in a way that is going to funnel storm after storm across the central and eastern United States throughout the first 2 weeks of March. We are looking at a deep trough that is a dip in the jet stream anchored over the western United States, and on the eastern side, a massive ridge building up. This pattern is like a conveyor belt for storms. The European model, the GFS, the Canadian model, they are all showing the same thing. Low pressure system after low pressure system cutting across the middle of the country from about March 5th through March 11th. This is going to bring heavy rain, potential flooding, and yes, the return of severe weather. And here is what that means for specific areas. Arkansas, you are the battleground. The Climate Prediction Center has already issued a moderate risk for heavy precipitation between March 5th and March 11th across Arkansas and surrounding areas. Flooding is going to become a real concern. The ground has been dry in many areas, which actually makes flash flooding worse because the hard-packed soil cannot absorb water as quickly. Texas, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. You are going to warm up dramatically. We are talking highs in the 70s and 80s by the end of the first week of March. This warmth is going to fuel those storm systems. Dew points in the 60s will start surging north. And when you get dew points above 60 degrees with those low-pressure systems, you are looking at the ingredients for severe weather. The Deep South, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana. Severe weather season is about to turn on like a switch. The Euro Ensemble mean is showing dew points in the 60s across this entire region by about a week from now. That, combined with the active jet stream pattern, is a setup that severe weather forecasters watch very closely. Cape values, that is the energy available for thunderstorms, are projected to spike into the several hundred to over 1,000 joules per kilogram range. That is significant. Now here is what I want you to do right now. If you are watching this and you live in any of the states I have mentioned, drop a comment below and tell me your city. Tell me where you are watching from. I read every single comment, and I am going to be doing city-specific updates as this storm develops. So if you comment your location, I can make sure I am covering your area in detail in the follow-up videos. Also, let me give you the temperature situation because the contrast is going to be absolutely wild. Friday, tomorrow, before the storm hits. This is going to be one of the warmest days we have had in 2026 across many cities. Chicago, near 60 degrees on Friday. Then Saturday night, you could be in a blizzard warning. Let that contrast sink in. 60 degrees to a winter storm in 24 hours. Des Moines, about 65 degrees on Friday. Then snow Sunday. Dallas, low 70s on Friday. And climbing even warmer the following week. Houston, upper 70s on Friday. Atlanta, mid-60s on Friday. New York City, near 50 on Friday. Then snow by Monday. Washington, D.C., upper 40s to near 50 on Friday. Snow Monday morning. Now Saturday is where the temperature contrast becomes extreme, because that Arctic high is pushing south. You could have temperatures in the 50s and 60s across parts of the Ohio Valley and the southeast. But just a few hundred miles to the northwest, in Kansas and Missouri and Illinois, temperatures will only be in the 20s and 30s. That kind of temperature gradient across such a short distance is a sign that the atmosphere is loaded. It is ready to produce a significant storm. Then after the storm passes early next week, the warmth comes roaring back. And not just a little warmth. We are talking about temperatures that could reach the 70s as far north as North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin by the second week of March. Some models are showing 80-degree readings across the Deep South and parts of Texas. This is 15 to 25 degrees above average for early March. And this warm surge is exactly what is going to set the table for severe weather. You cannot have big tornadoes and large hail without warm, moist air, and we are going to have plenty of it. Now, here is something most people do not realize about this kind of pattern shift. When you go from a major winter storm to 80-degree weather in the span of 7 to 10 days, the atmosphere does not just flip a switch quietly. The transition itself creates violent weather. Think about it. You have got Arctic air retreating to the north. Warm tropical air surging in from the Gulf of Mexico. Those two air masses do not just politely swap places, they collide. They battle it out along a front line, and that front line is where you get the severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center knows this. The Climate Prediction Center knows this. And the models are all pointing to this battleground setting up right along the Mississippi Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and the Ohio Valley during the first and second week of March. This is textbook severe weather season setup, and it is coming earlier than some years, which means a lot of people might not be mentally prepared for it. If you live anywhere from Texas to Illinois, from Louisiana to Indiana, you need to start thinking about your severe weather plan now. Do you have a safe room in your house? Do you know where your nearest storm shelter is? Do you have a weather radio or a reliable way to get warnings? Do not wait until the sirens are going off to figure this out. And here is another twist that is worth mentioning. The second half of March. Some of the extended range models are hinting that winter is not completely done. Even as we get this warm surge in the first 2 weeks of March, there are signals that cold air could make a comeback in the back half of the month. It might not be as extreme as what we have seen this winter, but the possibility of a late-season winter storm in mid to late March is something to keep on your radar. We will get into that more as the data becomes clearer. Now let me give you one more round of detail on some cities I have not touched on yet, because I want to make sure as many of you as possible have the information you need. Fargo, North Dakota. Bitter cold this weekend. Wind chills could drop to 25 below zero Saturday night. Light snow possible, maybe an inch. But the cold is the main story. Fargo, bundle up. This is dangerous cold. Duluth, Minnesota. Same story as Fargo. Extreme cold Saturday into Sunday, wind chills near 20 below. A couple inches of snow possible from the Clipper system Friday into Saturday. Nothing major in terms of accumulation, but the cold is brutal. Green Bay, Wisconsin. An inch or two of snow from the Clipper Friday. Cold temperatures through the weekend. Wind chills near 0 to 5 below Saturday night. Iowa City, Iowa. You are in an interesting spot. 2 to 4 inches of snow Sunday. Right on the edge between the moderate snow zone and the heavier band to the south. Your drive on Sunday afternoon and evening is going to be dicey. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Similar to Iowa City. 2 to 4 inches Sunday. Temperatures in the teens Sunday night with winds making it feel like single digits. Quad Cities. That is Davenport and Moline along the Iowa and Illinois border. 3 to 4 inches Sunday into Monday morning. You are right in the path of the main snow band. Sunday evening through early Monday is your worst window. Joliet, Illinois. South of Chicago and potentially in a heavier snow zone. 3 to 4 inches Sunday into Monday. The southern shift of the storm actually puts cities south of Chicago at higher risk than Chicago itself. Decatur, Illinois. 3 to 5 inches Sunday. Smack in the middle of the heavy snow corridor. Quincy, Illinois. Right along the Mississippi River and in the heart of the storm. 4 to 6 inches starting Sunday morning. This could be one of the heavier totals in Illinois. Jefferson City, Missouri. 4 to 6 inches Sunday. Right in the bull's eye. Sedalia, Missouri. 3 to 5 inches Sunday. Poplar Bluff, Missouri. This is southern Missouri, and you are in the mixed precipitation zone. Snow, sleet, and possibly freezing rain. Sunday afternoon and evening, be cautious. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Mixed precipitation, snow to the north, ice to the south, and you are caught right in the middle. An inch or two of snow with a glaze of ice on top. Very slippery roads Sunday night into Monday. Paducah, Kentucky. This city is really in the crosshairs for ice. Freezing rain and sleet Sunday night into Monday morning. Quarter inch of ice accumulation is possible, and that is enough to cause power outages. If you are in Paducah, make sure you have flashlights and batteries ready. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mixed precipitation. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, an inch or two of total accumulation with some ice mixed in. Sunday night into Monday morning, Frankfort, Kentucky. The state capital is looking at a mix of snow and freezing rain. 2 to 3 inches of accumulation with ice. Monday morning. Clarksburg, West Virginia. Right in the moderate to heavy snow zone. 4 to 5 inches Monday. Wheeling, West Virginia. 3 to 5 inches Monday. Parkersburg, West Virginia. 3 to 4 inches Monday. Beckley, West Virginia. This higher elevation city could see enhanced totals, 5 to 7 inches Monday. Staunton, Virginia. In the Shenandoah Valley, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Leesburg, Virginia. In the northern Virginia suburbs of Washington, 3 to 4 inches Monday. Manassas, Virginia. 3 to 4 inches Monday. Now, let me address something else that is really important for this particular storm. Power outages. The ice accumulation that is expected across parts of Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and southern Indiana and Illinois is the main concern for power outages. But even in the snow zone, if we get those gusty winds behind the Arctic high, you could see power outages from snow-loaded tree branches snapping under the weight. Wet, heavy snow clinging to branches and power lines combined with 20 to 30 mile-per-hour wind gusts is a recipe for outages. The areas most at risk for power outages from this storm are the ice zone stretching from Wichita through Joplin through Paducah and across Kentucky, but also higher elevation areas of West Virginia, Western Virginia, and Western Maryland, where heavy snow accumulations on trees that still do not have leaves could lead to significant tree damage. If you are in any of these areas, charge your devices today. If you have a generator, test it now. Make sure you have enough fuel, and if you rely on electric heat, have a backup plan. Space heaters with fresh batteries, extra blankets, warm clothing layers. Do not wait until the power goes out to start preparing. Let me also mention something about school closures and work schedules. Based on the timing of this storm, here is what I would expect. Sunday, most schools are closed anyway. But if you have plans, church events, sports activities, anything that requires driving, especially in Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois, I would strongly consider canceling or postponing. Monday. This is the big one. I would expect widespread school closures and delays across the entire snow and ice corridor, from Kansas City east through St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and the Mid-Atlantic. If your kids go to school in any of these areas, plan for them to be home Monday. A lot of businesses may also go to remote work or delayed openings. Tuesday. For the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, there could be some lingering impacts. Schools in the Washington, D.C. area, Baltimore, and possibly Philadelphia could have delays Tuesday morning as roads are cleared. And if that second storm materializes for the Northeast, Tuesday could be another snow day for parts of New England and New York. All right, I know that is a massive amount of information, but that is exactly what you need right now. Not hype, not fear. Just detailed, city by city, hour by hour information so you can make smart decisions for your family. Let me give you some more city-specific details for the rest of the country that I have not covered yet. Detroit, Michigan. You were in the heavy snow zone yesterday in the models, but the shift south has taken you out of the worst of it. 2 to 3 inches Sunday night into Monday. Not a blockbuster, but enough to make roads slick. Your Monday morning commute will be slower than usual. Grand Rapids, Michigan. 1 to 3 inches Sunday evening into Monday. Lake effect snow on the back end could add another inch or two through Tuesday. Lansing, Michigan. 2 to 3 inches Sunday night into Monday. Madison, Wisconsin. An inch or two Saturday evening. Then another inch or two Sunday. Not heavy individually, but it adds up. 3 to 4 inches total possible over the weekend. Peoria, Illinois. Right in the heart of the storm. 3 to 5 inches Sunday. Peak snowfall between noon and 8 in the evening Sunday. Champaign, Illinois. 3 to 5 inches Sunday afternoon through Monday morning. Heavy snow rates possible Sunday evening. Bloomington, Illinois. Similar to Champaign. 3 to 5 inches. Sunday is your big day. Rockford, Illinois. 2 to 3 inches. You are on the northern edge of the heavy band. Terre Haute, Indiana. 3 to 5 inches Sunday night into Monday morning. Right in the moderate to heavy snow zone. Huntington, West Virginia. 4 to 6 inches Monday. Appalachian terrain enhancement could boost totals. Morgantown, West Virginia. 3 to 5 inches Monday. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. 2 to 4 inches Monday. Allentown, Pennsylvania. 2 to 3 inches Monday into Monday evening. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 1 to 3 inches Monday into Tuesday. Dover, Delaware, 3 to 5 inches Monday. You are right in that Delmarva enhanced snow zone. Annapolis, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday, very close to the heavier totals on the Delmarva. Frederick, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches. Western suburbs could see even more with terrain enhancement. Winchester, Virginia, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Blue Ridge enhancement could push totals higher. Charlottesville, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Lynchburg, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Hagerstown, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday. All right, that is the city-by-city breakdown. More than 70 cities covered. But I need to give you one more critical piece of information: the timing of this storm for your evening and morning commutes. Because this is what actually matters for day-to-day life. If you are in the central United States, Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, your Sunday evening commute or travel plans are going to be affected. Do not plan on driving Sunday evening if you can avoid it. If you are in the Ohio Valley, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Pittsburgh, your Monday morning commute is the danger zone. I would plan for extra time or work from home if that is an option. If you are in the Mid-Atlantic, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, Monday morning through Monday afternoon is your worst period. Expect delays, expect school closures, expect a messy day. If you are in the Northeast, New York City and North, Monday evening is when snow starts for you. And then you need to watch Tuesday and Wednesday for that potential second system. Now, before I wrap up, I need to tell you why you should stick with this channel over the next 2 weeks. Because what is coming after this storm is potentially even more significant than the storm itself. We are heading into one of the most active early March weather patterns in recent memory. Multiple low-pressure systems are going to be cutting across the country. Severe weather is going to make its return, possibly in a big way. There is already a signal for heavy precipitation and flooding risk between March 5th and March 11th. And the temperature roller coaster that is setting up is going to create some wild swings. In our next video, I am going to dive deep into the severe weather outlook for the first 2 weeks of March. I am going to show you which cities are most at risk for tornadoes, where the flood threat is highest, and how this very active pattern could play out day by day. That video is going to be critical viewing for anyone in the central and eastern United States. Drop a comment right now. Tell me your city. Tell me what you want to know about, whether it is this weekend's winter storm or the severe weather pattern that is coming after it. I want to hear from you. Your comment helps me make sure I am covering the areas that matter most to you. And one more thing. I know winter storms and severe weather can be stressful. I want to be straight with you. This storm this weekend is significant, but it is manageable. It is not a once-in-a-generation blizzard. It is not a catastrophic ice storm for most areas. It is a solid winter storm that is going to cause disruption for a couple of days. If you prepare now, you will be fine. Get your supplies. Make sure your phone is charged. Have a plan for your commute. Check on your neighbors, especially anyone who is older or lives alone. The weather is about to get very active, but that is what we do here. We track it, we break it down, and we give it to you straight. No hype, no panic, just the facts and the forecast so you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. Now, let me go back and give you some additional details that could be the difference between being prepared and being caught off guard. Let us talk about wind. Because everyone focuses on the snow totals, but the wind with this storm is going to be a major factor. Behind that Arctic high pressure, we are going to see sustained winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour across the Central Plains, Saturday night through Sunday. In Kansas, wind gusts could hit 35 to 40 miles per hour. What does that mean? It means the snow that is falling is going to blow sideways. Visibility drops to near zero in those conditions. If you are driving on Interstate 70 through Kansas on Sunday, you could be dealing with blowing and drifting snow that reduces visibility to a quarter mile or less. And it is not just Kansas. Those gusty winds are going to spread east. Indianapolis, you could see gusts of 25 to 30 miles per hour Sunday night. That turns a 4-inch snowfall into drifts that pile up on one side of your driveway while the other side is nearly bare. Columbus and Pittsburgh, expect winds of 20 to 25 miles per hour Monday, which means wind chills in the single digits and low teens, even though air temperatures are in the 20s. Here is another thing most forecasters do not emphasize enough: snow ratios. Not all snow is created equal. When temperatures are right at 32 degrees, the snow is wet and heavy. 1 inch of rain equals roughly 8 inches of that wet, heavy snow. But when temperatures drop into the teens and 20s, the snow becomes fluffy. 1 inch of rain can equal 12 to 15 inches of that light, fluffy snow. With this storm, temperatures in the heaviest snow band are going to be in the low 20s to mid-20s. That means we could be dealing with higher snow ratios. So when I say 3 to 5 inches for some cities, that could easily end up being 4 to 6 or even 7 if the ratios come in higher than expected. This is especially true for cities like Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, and the Mid-Atlantic region, where the cold air is going to be firmly in place when the heaviest moisture arrives. Let me also talk about what this means for travel, because I know a lot of you have plans this weekend. Maybe you are flying somewhere. Maybe you are driving to see family. Airports that are most likely to see delays and cancellations from this storm: Kansas City International Airport, delays starting Sunday morning and potentially lasting into Sunday night. St. Louis Lambert International Airport, delays Sunday afternoon through Monday morning. Indianapolis International Airport, delays Sunday night through Monday morning. Pittsburgh International Airport, delays Monday morning through Monday afternoon. Baltimore Washington International Airport, delays Monday morning through Monday evening. Washington Dulles International Airport, same as Baltimore, Monday morning through Monday evening. Philadelphia International Airport, delays Monday morning through Monday afternoon. John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York, possible delays Monday evening. There is even a chance that Tuesday flights get impacted if that second system materializes. If you are flying through any of these airports this weekend or Monday, build in extra time. Check with your airline. And honestly, if you have flexibility, consider adjusting your plans. A 6-hour delay sitting at an airport gate is not how anyone wants to spend their Monday. For drivers, here are the highways that are most likely to be impacted. Interstate 70 from Denver all the way through Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, and into the Mid-Atlantic. This is going to be the most impacted interstate corridor in the country from this storm. Interstate 35 from Des Moines through Kansas City, heavy snow zone. Interstate 44 from Springfield through St. Louis, right in the heavy snow band. Interstate 64 from Louisville through Lexington and into Charleston, West Virginia. Mixed precipitation, ice, and snow. Interstate 81 through Virginia and into Pennsylvania. Snow Monday. Interstate 95 from Richmond through Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Wilmington, and Philadelphia. Snow Monday morning through afternoon. If you absolutely have to drive on any of these routes Sunday through Monday, make sure you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Blankets, water, snacks, a fully charged phone, and a portable charger. Winter driving is no joke, and getting stranded in a snowstorm even for a few hours can become dangerous without the right supplies. Now, I want to address something that I have been seeing in the comments on previous videos. A lot of you have been asking about the drought, and this storm actually ties directly into that conversation. Huge portions of the central and eastern United States have been dealing with drought conditions this winter. Parts of the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, the Southeast, they have all been well below average on precipitation. And while this winter storm is going to deliver some moisture, it is the pattern change that comes after it that is really going to make a dent in the drought. Remember what I told you about the first 2 weeks of March? Multiple low-pressure systems, heavy rain, potential flooding. That moisture is going to go a long way toward easing drought conditions across the eastern half of the country. But here is the double-edged sword. When you go from drought to heavy rain quickly, the ground cannot absorb it fast enough. And that is when you get flash flooding. So areas that have been begging for rain are going to get it, but they might get too much too fast. Cities that need to watch for flooding in the first 2 weeks of March include Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma. These cities are right in the bullseye for repeated rounds of rain from multiple storm systems. Let me also give you a quick look at what the western United States can expect, because I do not want to leave you out. Denver, Colorado. Mostly quiet from this storm. A few inches possible in the Front Range Mountains, but the city itself stays dry. Temperatures in the 40s this weekend, but watch for that trough that sets up over the west during the first 2 weeks of March. You could see some storms of your own. Salt Lake City, Utah. Quiet this weekend, mild temperatures, but the active jet stream pattern could bring some mountain snow next week. Phoenix, Arizona. Sunny and pleasant, highs in the 70s. You are not part of this story. Las Vegas, Nevada, same as Phoenix, clear and mild. Los Angeles, California, dry and warm, highs near 70. San Francisco, California, mostly dry. A few clouds possible, but no rain expected this weekend. Seattle, Washington. Some rain possible, which is just a normal day for Seattle. Nothing severe. Portland, Oregon. Similar to Seattle. Light rain. Nothing out of the ordinary. Boise, Idaho. Quiet and cool. No major weather concerns. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dry and sunny. Highs in the 50s. The West is going to be relatively quiet while the central and eastern United States deals with this active pattern. But that could change in the second half of March as the jet stream pattern potentially shifts. Now here is one more thing I want to leave you with. And this is something I think about a lot when these big storms approach. Preparation is not panic. Let me say that again. Preparation is not panic. When you see a forecast like this and you go to the store to get groceries, when you make sure your flashlights have batteries, when you check that your snow shovel is by the front door, that is just being smart. That is being responsible. You are not overreacting. You are doing exactly what you should be doing. The people who get caught off guard by winter storms are the ones who wait until the snow is already falling to figure out what they need. Do not be that person. Take 30 minutes today to get ready. Fill up your gas tank. Grab some extra water and some easy meals that do not require cooking in case you lose power. If you have a generator, make sure it works. If you have medications you need, make sure you have enough for a few extra days. And check on your people. Call your mom. Call your neighbor. Text your friend who lives alone. Make sure the people you care about know what is coming and have what they need. That is what community looks like. That is how we get through these storms together. All right, let me do a final rapid-fire recap of the major cities and their expected snow totals. Here we go. Billings, Montana, 2 to 3 inches Saturday. Bismarck, North Dakota, 1 to 2 inches Saturday. Rapid City, South Dakota, 1 to 2 inches Saturday. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 1 to 2 inches Saturday evening. Minneapolis, 2 to 3 inches total Friday through Saturday. Des Moines, Iowa, 2 to 4 inches Sunday. Omaha, Nebraska, 2 to 3 inches Sunday. Lincoln, Nebraska, 2 to 3 inches Sunday. Topeka, Kansas, 3 to 5 inches Sunday. Kansas City, Missouri, 4 to 6 inches Sunday. Possible ice south side. Wichita, Kansas, mostly ice, quarter-inch accumulation possible. Springfield, Missouri, 4 to 7 inches Sunday through Monday. St. Louis, Missouri, 3 to 5 inches Sunday through Monday. Columbia, Missouri, 4 to 6 inches Sunday through Monday. Chicago, Illinois, 2 to 4 inches Saturday through Sunday. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 2 to 3 inches Saturday through Sunday. Madison, Wisconsin, 3 to 4 inches total weekend. Rockford, Illinois, 2 to 3 inches Sunday. Peoria, Illinois, 3 to 5 inches Sunday. Champaign, Illinois, 3 to 5 inches Sunday into Monday. Bloomington, Illinois, 3 to 5 inches Sunday into Monday. Indianapolis, Indiana, 2 to 4 inches Sunday night into Monday. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 2 to 3 inches Monday. Terre Haute, Indiana, 3 to 5 inches Sunday night into Monday. Evansville, Indiana, mixed precipitation. Ice glaze possible. Louisville, Kentucky, 2 to 3 inches mixed with ice. Sunday night into Monday. Lexington, Kentucky, 2 to 3 inches mixed with ice. Cincinnati, Ohio, 3 to 5 inches Sunday night into Monday. Columbus, Ohio, 3 to 4 inches Monday. Dayton, Ohio, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Cleveland, Ohio, 1 to 3 inches Monday. Detroit, Michigan, 2 to 3 inches Sunday night into Monday. Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1 to 3 inches plus lake effect. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Charleston, West Virginia, 4 to 6 inches Monday. Huntington, West Virginia, 4 to 6 inches Monday. Washington, District of Columbia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Baltimore, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Delmarva Peninsula, 5 to 7 inches Monday. Annapolis, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Frederick, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Richmond, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Roanoke, Virginia, 3 to 4 inches Monday. Charlottesville, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Lynchburg, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Winchester, Virginia, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Hagerstown, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Wilmington, Delaware, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Dover, Delaware, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Trenton, New Jersey, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Newark, New Jersey, 1 to 3 inches Monday. New York City, 1 to 3 inches Monday evening. Hartford, Connecticut, 1 to 2 inches Monday into Tuesday. Providence, Rhode Island, 1 to 2 inches Monday into Tuesday. Boston, Massachusetts, about 1 inch Monday evening. Albany, New York, 1 to 2 inches Monday into Tuesday. Syracuse, New York, 1 to 2 inches Monday into Tuesday. Buffalo, New York, 1 to 2 inches plus lake effect. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 1 to 3 inches Monday into Tuesday. Allentown, Pennsylvania, 2 to 3 inches Monday. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 2 to 4 inches Monday. And remember, these totals can still shift. The models have been trending south over the past 24 hours, and they could shift again. But this gives you a solid baseline for what to expect. If your city was not on this list and you want a specific forecast, drop your location in the comments. I will do my best to cover it in the next update. This is going to be a wild ride over the next 2 weeks. We have got this winter storm this weekend, a potential second storm early next week, and then the whole pattern flips to warm and active with severe weather potential by the middle of March. In our next video, I am breaking down the severe weather threat for March 5th through March 11th. We are going to look at which cities have the highest tornado risk, where the flooding could be worst, and what temperatures in the 70s and 80s across the northern plains and upper Midwest mean for the atmosphere. That video could be the most important weather video you watch all spring. You are going to want to see it. And one more thing before I go. I have been getting a lot of questions about the pollen situation. And here is the reality. When you get temperatures in the 70s and 80s across the deep south and even into the mid-south during the first 2 weeks of March, the pollen is going to explode. If you have allergies, you already know what I am talking about. The trees are going to start releasing pollen at an aggressive rate once these warm temperatures lock in. And with all the rain that is coming, you get this cycle where the pollen counts spike between rain events and then the rain washes it out temporarily. But make no mistake, allergy season is about to hit hard across the southern half of the country. Get your medications ready. Stock up on antihistamines, because that warm surge after this winter storm is going to jumpstart spring in a big way. Also, I want to mention something for the farmers and gardeners out there. This temperature roller coaster can be tricky. You might look at the extended forecast and see 70s and think it is time to start planting. But hold on. Remember what I said about the second half of March. There are signals that cold air could come back. A late season freeze after a warm spell is one of the worst things for early plantings. Fruit trees that start to bud in the warmth are especially vulnerable, so be cautious. Just because March starts warm does not mean March will stay warm. We have seen late season freezes as late as mid-April in parts of the Midwest and the Northeast. Do not let one warm week fool you into thinking winter is completely over. And speaking of being fooled, let me give you one final thought on this winter storm. The models have been going back and forth. 24 hours ago, the snow totals were much higher and much further north. Today, they have shifted south and come down somewhat. Tomorrow, they could shift again. That is the nature of forecasting a storm that is still 2 to 3 days out. The general corridor and the general timing are becoming more confident, but the specific snow totals for specific cities could still change by an inch or two in either direction. What does that mean for you? It means do not get locked into one specific number. If I told you 3 to 5 inches for your city, treat it as a range. You might get 2. You might get 6. The important thing is that winter weather is coming. It is going to impact your area, and you need to be ready for it, regardless of whether the final total is 3 inches or 5 inches. The bottom line is this. Sunday through Monday is going to be a significant winter storm for the central and eastern United States. Ice is a threat south of the snow line. Travel is going to be disrupted. And then after the storm, the weather pattern flips to warm and active, with severe weather potential that could last for weeks. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.